Welcome. Okay, welcome back again. So you can see this QR code. You can search and scan this code for networking. Please don't forget that. And this is last panel today. It's about new trends, programs, and finance in the gaming industry. And our panelists and speakers, Berke Canatar, Beluga Games Product Manager, Mr. İsa Turgut İnci, Yıldız Teknopark Deputy General Manager, Tansu Kendirli, Oyunder Chairman, and Taner Özarslan. Stage is yours, panel is yours. Yeah.
So, hello to everyone. We are very happy today with you. Today, as Dinçer told you, we are talking about trends, actual programs regarding the game industry and the financial aspects. If you have some questions, maybe we can answer them also at the end, maybe 2 or 3 different questions. But we should talk with, let's say, introducing ourselves. I am the chairman of Oyunder, which means Game Designers, Developers, Producers and Publishers Association. It's a very long name, but in short, it's Oyunder. We have around 250 members, which includes also game publishers, game developers, indie developers, academicians, lawyers who are working inside the game industry, artists, etc. Also producers. So today I have esteemed guests, and I want to let you to introduce yourself. Isa, can you give us a little information about yourself?
Thank you. My name is İsa Turgut İnci. I work as Deputy General Manager in Yıldız Teknopark. First of all, I thank you for your invitation. I'm happy to be here for game ecosystem, and 10 years experience in entrepreneurship area. Actually, that's it. My name is İsa.
Hello everyone, I am Taner Özarslan. I am 51 years old. My experience belongs to 31 years in capital markets. I am an ex-investment banker, and in last 5 years I am a founder of a corporate finance firm, which is name is Sparta Co. We are studying with some companies about IPO, you know, the initial public offerings, and M&A services about some companies. Some of these are industrial companies, and a bit about that about the technology companies. Maybe you know the some cloud companies, Clonera, Blutistan. We studied in some of these companies in merger and acquisition activities. And we are now here about to announce or teach you maybe some difficulties in financing a lot of companies which are technologies or industries. What are the basic ways to financing, and maybe if you ask a question, we can answer. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Berke Canatar, and I'm a project manager in Beluga Games, which is a company that aims to create games in many different platforms. Right now we're focusing on blockchain, and we're building our first play-to-earn game. Other than that, we provide fundraising and services like white paper creation and general management services, blockchain management services, to both gaming and non-gaming companies that need help from us. I've been in the technology and entrepreneurship sector for it's been 5 years now, and I've been in the gaming sector for more than 2 years. Thanks Tansu Bey for inviting us here today, and I hope we'll have a really good conversation.
So basically we will start with the programs and trends today, and therefore Yıldız Technical University has built up a program which is called GamesUp. Maybe some of you are aware of that. It's a university technopark based program which also helps the entrepreneurs and startups, gaming startups, to establish their games, their studios inside the university, which means you have a lot of government perks. Also, it's very easy to get over the legal and tax issues. So basically, I want to give the words to Isa to explain what's inside GamesUp and how you can cooperate with the game companies.
Thank you. In addition, as you know, in addition to being the sector that the game sector, the most investment that receives the most investment area, and also socializing us, and I am very grateful for that. Then Istanbul is a bridge between Middle East and Asia, and it's a perfect place to start entrepreneurship because Turkey in Istanbul in Yıldız Teknopark is obviously. I think we can help anyone.
How was it possible to attend your program?
Actually, the GamesUp program is an entrepreneurship program. As we say, this is exactly what I said. We started program at Yıldız Teknopark to access finance and support talent. The name of this program, GamesUp, for game developers and esports team.
And not just including game developers also.
Yeah. In this context, we receive applications from yıldızkuluçka.com. Details are available on this site for those who want to apply. And then I would like to emphasize is that startups applying to this program have direct access rights to investors. It is a huge program for
How
us.
many applicants just, let's say, applied to your program now, from now? Do you have any numbers
now? Yes, 50 startups apply.
Already?
Yes, already, okay. But it's continue. Within Technopark advantages, companies can give extra income. They get by using tax-free, and exemptions as a salary. Exemptions then mean that tax-free zone, consumption tax, and maybe social
employee
security tax,
employee expenses,
employee, and yes,
are lowering also.
It's tax-free. All of them, it's exemptions.
Is there a time limit? Or
No time limit. Unlimited program. This makes it easier to contribute to staff. Staff's cost is so expensive.
Yeah, the main cost is staff expenses.
We also have support packages for marketing activities. Maybe this is good for companies. We carry out our activities in this context with the Ministry of Commerce. There are many packages up to $400,000.
You mean the refund?
Refund,
yes,
refund.
Application also helps to get the refund in your games if you are spending some marketing budget.
Yes.
To let's say gaining more, let's say players.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you
Thank you.
And if you are able, if you don't have noticed, there is a program in Yıldız Teknik University called GamesUp at Yıldız Kuluçka. Please do not hesitate to contact or visit the website. Read it. I'm sure there is also an English version. Am I right? Yeah, it is very easy to apply. You are also very, let's say, responsive, and you are getting back very quick, I guess. At least not for the last week was a little bit hard for you. I know that because they have an attack on their system from Russia, by the way. So, and basically I want to move on with Taner. Taner, you are speaking with entrepreneurs, let's say startup owners or business owners for years. But the main issue is always like you are not able to see it from an investor side. And that creates difficulties to express yourself, also to introduce your business to the potential investors or let's say buyers. Mm-hmm. What can you say about the necessary preparations or needed mindset if you are talking with business owners, let's say, who are aiming to sell their businesses or who are aiming to take some investment? Mm-hmm. Can you answer that?
Yes.
Or what is the most, let's say, negative things you see most in common in Turkish startup ecosystem?
Yeah. The most important thing is, I think, value. You know, the value means maybe you can evaluate something in this time, or you can think that the real value is not the today's price. The real value means, on my focus, the value of your company or your business at the, for example, 10 years later is some redemption or some maybe you can value this in today's day. For example, your company is value is 1 million today, but it will be 100 million 1 year later. The real, yes, the real price is, for example, if the interest rate is 10% for the next 1 year, it's about, you can divide it to 1.1 to 100 million to today's day. For example, 90 million. The appropriate value is 90 million for us. But you have to imagine that it will be correctly to this price for the next 1 year. You have to think that what I have to do for my company goes to 100 million.
You mean forecasting?
Yeah, forecast. Yeah, but before the forecast, you have to dream about it. What I have to do? It means that it related with only your business plan, your revenues and your costs. You have to prepare a very good,
solid business plan.
Solid business plan. But this plan maybe include all of the revenues and all of the costs.
Expected revenues.
Yeah, expected one. All of the your maybe spendings. Maybe all of the investors forget about the marketing budgets. Maybe they.
You mean entrepreneurs, not investors? Investors.
Yeah, investors or maybe entrepreneurs. they don't believe that they will spend a lot of for the marketing. But if you don't do this, your business will be fault. Because the most important thing is sell all of the products, and it's related with the marketing. Yes, you have to spend a lot of money for the personal cost, staff cost. Yes, in technology, it's about maybe more than 50%, but not in the industry sector. They spend a lot of things to investments. But my opinion, it's about 50 and 50, staff costs and marketing costs. You have to think a lot of money will you burn for the marketing. If you don't think that, and if you start it with a very
small
low
budget
for the marketing, you have a good dream about your business, but you will fall. The most important thing is set up your business, but with the
right assumption.
Right assumption,
Right
not
assumption
optimistic, and maybe pessimistic, a lot of this.
So, okay, thank you. And before I give the third question to Berke, I want to also speak about some trends here in Turkey. You know, there is a lot of trends. 4 years ago, we had, let's say 5 years ago, we had a hyper-casual trend, which also moves on here today, and almost 75 or 80% of our companies are mainly aimed to do business in the hyper-casual field. But there is also a lot of, let's say, hesitation and complaining on that, and most of the companies are trying to now to separate their ways to the casual, let's say hybrid casual, maybe mid-core games. So also blockchain, added blockchain games, also created a new environment. Also now the second type after hyper casual seems to be the blockchain based, which we talk tomorrow. We will talk on that tomorrow midday, I guess. But if you are considering to, let's say, get an investment on these businesses, it's more likely to get an publisher support here in Turkey and the hyper-casual game field, mostly. Now it's going to be also in the blockchain business game. But since blockchain business games are very different from hyper-casual, they need a little bit of much more depth, meta, etc. game, a much more content and gameplay, mechanics and dynamics. So you should also have some other types of investment possibilities. They're not just the investors, also you can talk with, let's say, networks, blockchain networks, also from additional publishers who are intent to create an environment for blockchain games, like I guess Animarco brands, maybe you know some of them are trying to build up bases like Sandbox. You can build a game, especially if you're related with an IP. I guess the most important thing will be in the upcoming years, maybe 2 or 3 years, will be IP-based games. So, in my opinion, studios should intend to making contacts with IP owners to cooperate with them. And if they're able to get an IP agreement, they will also have a lot of, let's say, bigger chance to get an investment, because you are creating additional value for your game. So basically, I now want to move on to Berke and ask him, and how do you work with, let's say, how do you plan as a blockchain entity to cooperate with digital studios? There is, I think you have also a line to cooperate with studios. You are actually co-working with them. And in the past 2 years, your company has worked with some of the, let's say, we have a, let's say, booth here Rise Online,
Yeah.
outside. Your company made the whole blockchain
Yeah,
services
our
on that game.
exactly. The owners of Beluga Games wrote every nook of Rise Online's blockchain services, as well as created their white papers, their tokenomics, and created an NFT plan for them to, use. The most important thing to know about blockchain games is their difference from other game types is their economies. If you want to create a game that's on blockchain that's going to be a play-to-earn game, you have to have a solid, good economy, tokenomics, as we say. This is because most games do not care about inflation in game. I hope most of you guys are gamers, and if you know about games, a little bit about games, you know that especially in RPG and other games, by the end you have so much money that you don't know where to spend it. You can't create an economy like that in a play-to-earn game, because the money that you use in game, it becomes real money that people earn, that they put in their pockets. So that's why when we work with gaming companies and when we build our own games, we try to have a really good gaming economy, tokenomics system in place before even deciding on the art styles and even the development methods of the game. I think this is the most important thing, and I've been talking about this to the gaming studios that come to us and ask for our services.
Thank you. I shouldn't close the microphone, I guess, because I don't know when do you end.
Yeah.
So now we talked about the program GamesUp, and it is very obvious. Much of the companies are attending now to your program. You said it's around 50, and I want to know necessary steps. How do you apply to your program? I guess you will move on to your internet site. You check the let's say necessary aspects, and you can apply with an application form. Am I right on that?
Yes, yeah.
And how long did it take the, let's say, whole process to get a registration onto your program?
Yes, yeah, it is true. What I say, I exactly say that. But maybe I can explain Technopark. What is Technopark?
It's a different concept, by the way.
Yes, it's different, but it is also inside them, because GamesUp, it's a program in the Technopark. Technopark, Technology Development Zones. Maybe I can explain that, because this is important for us. As Yıldız Technical University Technopark, our main goal is to create and support an innovative and competitive environment for companies active in technology, R&D, and innovation.
Which includes also games.
Games in innovative game technologies is Chapter 1 in R&D and innovation, maybe all of them, because Technopark also provides technology development zones for R&D activities of global companies. Okay. There are various benefits, as I say, for companies that are established in Technopark, such as income tax, and I mentioned that.
VAT also, I guess.
Yes, but not does it have only this, because not only tax-free is a important one. Another one is talent. The game industry talent pool. Technoparks as a talent industry talent pool. Because talent, there are...
You are very close with universities, therefore there is also...
Yes, university industry collaborations in Technoparks, another main goal is, because there are better talents in our country and than their counterparts in the world. I am not just talking about the first production positions that come to mind, and such as game developers and designers. Maybe Can I ask questions to audience? How many game developers are there? Would you
So
like
many.
raise your hand? All of them, maybe. Yeah, very talents. Yes, Turkey's talents is very popular in this conjuncture because the number of professionals who know about growth and business development is increasing day by day. We see that the commercial successes at the top of the pyramid come with the right IP generation and business management. IP generation mean that's intellectual property, maybe, and an increasing number of game design departments are opening in the universities, such as Yıldız Technical University. And naturally, we have more trained, talented experts in this field.
Okay, how many game companies do you have now already?
Oh.
I'm not mentioning the applied ones.
30,
30.
Yes, 30.
Okay, are they always in the same building, or are they, let's say,
Yes,
displaced on
same
different
building.
buildings?
The building name is Incubation Center. Same building, 30 game developers, game company, but 150 another companies, gaming and non-gaming.
Outside gaming.
Yes.
Okay. Total, it's 150.
Total, yes.
Okay. And from, let's say, we talk on the financial side again. If we are able to apply to Sparta Co, what is the, let's say, the process, how we can cooperate with an investment banking firm as a game development studio, or let's say a publisher?
Yes.
How do you proceed on that?
First, we have to believe your business plan, because today maybe your business is not valuable, but at the next stage it will be a very good opportunity for the investors. If it's, yeah, it's profitable, is maybe next 3 years you will not take a profit from your business, but you will be growthable firm. You will rise your revenues with huge numbers, maybe.
Especially if they're on the R&D side.
Yes, and if we believe it, if we believe this, the first stage maybe ended, and the next stage is an agreement with your firm.
With you?
With us,
yeah.
Because we will be all responsibility to take you to next stage with the investors. It's a very maybe a long run.
Did you do also do some of due diligence, or are you checking the, let's say, business plan?
Yes.
And are you giving response to them?
Yes.
You should
yes.
maybe
We prepare your business plan, but with your numbers, because you know your business very well. You know the opportunities in the market very well, more than us, because you're a talented person and you know your business. But we can support you about doing your business plan, what you have to focus, what you have to do.
how it will be more exciting for the investor community?
Yes.
At the end.
At the end.
And the presentation should be attractive.
Yes. You have all of the business, maybe all of the presentation you have, but we can maybe some small changes, some fine-tunings in your business plan, and we prepare some short list for the investors side, and maybe not your maybe a lot of numbers you have with your business plan or the marketing strategy, but not more than a 5 pages, a teaser, maybe we prepare a teaser. And after that,
you start to invite the investors?
Yes, we not invite.
Or more like a roadshow?
Yes, like a roadshow. We contact with all of the VC organization for you with your mailing or with the telephone. We introduce to you, and after that, if some of these
show some interest,
show some interest about your plan, and maybe some presentation will come, and after that, if they are focusing your business, maybe some capital raising occur, and after that, some due diligence activities, some financial audit activities. If you are not startup, maybe
scale up.
Yeah, maybe. Scale up, maybe.
Much more.
And after that, the agreements
are being made.
Yes.
And signed.
And signed.
How long does it take if you are talking? Let's say I'm sure it will depends on the size of the company, but
yes,
there is a time limit because everyone has the opportunity to go to other investors. Investors also have the opportunity to invest in other, let's say, opportunities.
Yes.
So we should have a time limit, I guess.
Yes.
So is it something like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or does it depend on the size of it? If
a foreign company interested with your company, if you are an industry company, it takes more than 6 months because audited balance sheets we need balance sheets, and after that some due diligence activities, and after that sign, it takes 6 months. But if you're a startup and if you need not a huge amount of money, maybe some investors thinks that I have to maybe burn this amount. They think that
there is a possibility to early invest because you get
yes,
more of it.
Yes.
If you're able to, let's say, evaluate this business. And which is, I want to move on from that, which is very an interesting side of our business. Most startups in the gaming business are able to get funds between, let's say, you are also able to get funds from publishers for your prototypes, of course. But if it comes to a little bit of bigger investment, so you are trying to move on to casual business or something else, it is very likely you want to get more of it, a little bit more money. Let's say maybe 100, not 100,000, money between 200,000, 212,000 or $500,000. And most of the investors, especially if they're in the early seed, let's say, stage, are showing likely a little bit of hesitancy on that because they don't know the industry, because they are all of them, not all of them, most of them are newcomers, so you have some difficulties to explain yourself and your business. So therefore you should ask for some assistance. And if you want to talk about that, maybe we can talk about that too after this, let's say, conversation. But there are also some possibilities to replace yourself and your company, your, let's say, game studio, inside the business in that way. So, but you should be sure it is also a huge, let's say, a critical point, because if you want, if you are willing to give your companies a big share, you will you will lose your motivation after the first step. And that is a critical issue for the game company owners, it's for the co-owners. If you are limiting yourself between 10% and 15%, it seems to be fine. But if you are going up, it doesn't depend not only that, because if you are an investor who doesn't know the game industry so well, he will also maybe participate in all of your, let's say, critical decision makings, which is not so good for you, because you know your business more than him or her or the financial or let's say company. Therefore, it should be much more likely to go on for a smart investment. Maybe it will be a less amount of money, but they can also help you to build up your business in a different way. Maybe they are able to move on with you to the publisher deal. Maybe the second stage investment, if they are able to build up a network in the second stage. So you will be in the, apart from early stage, you will be much more, let's say, in a secure area in the A level. So basically you should move yourself in a state to focus on your product. If you are focused on the investment side, you should be let's say, you should be very clever to focus on the right things and all of these aspects. At the end, the investor's main concern is your game's success. If you are not able to get the success, necessary success, especially on the data side, it will be very hard to evaluate your business or go to the second stage, because the second stage mainly includes also the marketing side. And that means you should take a lot of more money to get the necessary, let's say, player base inside your game. Now you are talking about CPIs, let's say ARPUs, DAUs, and other metrics. If you are able to, let's say, gain players for less money than others, than your competitors, you will be definitely revalued as a profitable and successful company. But if you're not able to reduce your costs, like CPIs, like retentions, now retention should be high, but the other costs, like churn rates, must be lower. And there is a challenge between the, as a newcomer, you don't have this challenge. But if you are a, let's say, company who produced and published 2 or 3 games, you should be noticed. If you aren't so successful in your first 2 or 3 games, the investors should also lose some faith in that, on your vision. So you should definitely care your vision, and if you are able, you should also care for your product and for your product's success. I mean the game. And if the gamers are responding you in a very well manner, like example, if you gain more viral attention without spending too much money on your marketing budget, using the marketing budget, it will be it will give you a lot of boost on the second stage, and let's say A stage, B stage, etc. So now I want to move on Berke for the last question. And if you are a, let's say, company who has the intention to go into the blockchain gaming side and doesn't know the blockchain developing side, also the necessary, let's say, knowledge about the NFT business, token economics, etc., how should they build up their experience on that site with companies like yours?
That's a really good question, because most companies that, most gaming companies especially that come to us are in that position. They have a general idea of building games because they built games before. They know how to create good gaming ecosystems, but they don't know anything about the software or other requirements for NFTs, for blockchain and other stuff like that. Yeah, smart contracts. The main thing that the gaming ecosystem should know is that it's really, really different than regular gaming building things. But the good thing is you don't have to know about every single detail about how it works, because there are really good softwares, there are really good contractors like us who will help you about those things. But if a person wants to learn about these things, they should start by reading white papers of other more successful games, blockchain-based games like Splinterlands, and some games that failed even though they had advantages like Axie Infinity.
Failed games are, let's say...
You have to learn about failed games.
A better lecture.
Exactly. You have to know about the games, why they failed, why they succeeded, and reading their white papers, understanding their tokenomics, and maybe even playing the games for a while, losing some money in the process.
And examining some, let's say, player response.
Exactly.
Will help on that.
You have to understand those things if you want to learn about the ecosystem. The other technical parts and the player retention and player community parts, these require really good experts to navigate easily. In order to learn them, you have to, do a lot of coding maybe and other stuff. So what I suggest to new companies that are trying to build a blockchain game is get assistance from someone who knows about smart contracts and just learn about the gaming ecosystem in blockchains, especially
instead of trying to build of your own some smart
exactly. It's most companies lose a lot of money, they lose faith and motivation,
time also.
And we've also seen many companies getting hacked because they didn't manage their securities really good, and being hacked in the blockchain community means that you're finished. There is no second chance.
So that's basically all. We summed up our content. If there is some questions, we will be happy to answer them. If we don't have any questions, we will be more happier. So,
there is a question in there, so I guess.
Please.
So maybe one question I can.
Can you stand up? We are able to.
So I will.
Sorry, again, please. First one is?
What do you look first, what's the effect?
Programs in your questions? Yeah. What do you request?
Look first.
Look first.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you look first? First impression.
First impression, yes, but no rules, only startups, maybe only game developers, as you know. Then no rules. Actually, belki de finally
they have a very good, let's say, a mentor pool.
Mentor pool
to evaluate the projects, huh?
Maybe inside them. Actually, as a summary of our panel, maybe short start, maybe quick final. I talk about a structure where bureaucracy is stretched. And I talk about our
limited
special...
or stretched?
Stretched, not limited, because it is very...
You mean stretched for
difficult.
being easier?
Easier,
or
but
harder?
stretch is the
How can
another
I look?
one. Easier, yes, and stretch maybe, because not difficult and limited. Bureaucracy is a very different part of us. And I'll talk about our special support mechanisms for game companies. And
what was the
talents?
Second, there was a second question, by the way.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What was the second question?
First one?
What do you look first?
Look first.
We explained
no
that.
rules. No rules.
We explained that. This is
Only
stretch.
you have a
Yeah.
game developers. Yes, that's enough for us.
Basically, we applied with super gears to this program.
Yes, yes.
I can explain that in a maybe different way. Let's say as a startup, you apply with your project. You are writing some, let's say, a small declaration of your project, introduction, let's say, and you are giving a little bit much more, let's say, info about your team, your aim, and how about your platform, about your game or games you are trying to build, and that's it.
You
Nothing more.
You may not a company.
You don't need to be a company. Yeah.
Only just make startup idea. It is enough for us. Talents, office, and of course money is yours in this program.
Yep. The good news.
You don't take a share. Am I right on that?
Yes.
From the company.
Yes.
That's very important. If you are going to some programs, let's say accelerators or as hubs, and mostly some of them are taking some share of your projects or your company, at least. No, at least from your game project, let's say. It was on your company. It's much more worse. Okay, so therefore, Yıldız seems to us a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And a pretty good, let's say, opportunity.
Yes. You must only have an idea. It is enough for us.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank you.
for everything. So it's good news for you because our networking is continuing the outside when finished. And today's program's panels is finished. Today's topic was mobile, but tomorrow is new topic will be blockchain is the other big topic for all the sector. So tomorrow we will be here 11 a.m. morning. So take care to the tomorrow. See you again. Goodbye.